Let's explore how to create BD rate analyses and rate distortion curves in the Streaming Learning Center Bitrate Explorer application. So there are two ways to get data in. This is the BD rate tab. We'll be doing most of the work here. And if you're inputting data that is not codec related, meaning you're not differentiating by codec, you want to use the BD rate tab because that allows you a convenient way to tag incoming data very conveniently. So we're looking at single pass versus multiple pass, and we can drag in the single pass and then tag 5-file single pass. And you see the tagging here. And then we come back to our inputs. We drop those in. These are the multipass. And we're done. So otherwise, if you didn't have that capability, you would have to input the files and then manually type or manually select multiple files and then input the designator here. So that's how you do it if it's not codec related. If it is codec related, let me clear this data. You just go to, this is our codec analysis. We're comparing AB1, HEVC, H.264, and VP9. And you just drag all the files in, and the tool will auto-detect the codec. And if we come back here to BD rate, we see that the codec's already filled in. Either way, you press Run Metrics. That takes a few minutes to process. Let me come back when that's done. Okay, we are done. So all of our metric scores are calculated. We automatically calculate VMAF, PSNR, and SSIM. We hit recalculate here to see the BD rate analyses, and we see the rate distortion charts up here and the BD rate tables down here. And that's available out of the box with VMAF, PSNR, and SSIM. Now, what's new in the product, because everybody knows metric calculations can take a while, is the ability to save this data. And you save, it's automatically saved the file name of the source in the folder of the source file. And obviously you can change both the name and the save location. And once we save it, if the data gets clear, if we go work on something else and then want to come back and relook at the data, we can just load this and all the data returns. And this is both the metrics data that we see here for BD rate, and then all the individual metrics, VMAF, PSNR, and SSIM. Let me just point out that this is a very crowded tab, but if you just want to look at a few of these, you can deselect, and then only the ones that remain selected show up here. If you want to get rid of the legend, you can get rid of the legend pretty easily. Once you've created the BD rate data, if you want to export to Excel, if you want to include the analyses in your own Excel spreadsheet, you do that, and then you get data stored by metric. Here's the BD rate data for VMAF, PSNR, SSIM. Here's all the files that we've included. Here's the rate distortion curve, and here's the BD rate test matrix. And again, you've got that for VMAF, PSNR, and SSIM. The other output for this data is Markdown, and Markdown for me is a very convenient way to look at data for human viewing. So once I create this, I don't have to look at a CSV file or a spreadsheet file. I've got the data here if I want to include it in a report or something similar. So that's how you create BD rate analyses in the SLC Bitrate Explorer, creating both the rate distortion curves and the BD rate tables down here.